The much-anticipated 2014 Forester is here at University Subaru. Newly redesigned, inside and out, with sleek styling, symmetrical all-wheel drive, and maximum performance. Plus now 32 miles per gallon. Join us for the Subaru Love Spring event going on now and see the all-new Forester. All-wheel, all-weather, all-wow. Available in mid-Missouri only at University Subaru. The wise choice.
Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on this September the 11th. September the 11th. It conjures up memories of that day. Yeah, but we got Dave Mars with us today. Columbia Water and Light, and we're going to talk about something a little happier, and that's saving money by reducing our utility bills, right?
Yeah,
and just maintaining the equipment. Good to have you here, Dave.
Yeah, Paul.
The City of Columbia. Right,
Well,
water and light. So what do we need to do as far as saving money?
It's September, but we've had this warm spell recently, and people are using air conditioners maybe more than they have all summer. So it's a few little tips here as to what to watch out for. Of course, you want to check your furnace filter because it's been running for about 3 months now, and that can impair your efficiency by 10 to 20%, depending how dirty it is.
If your filter is not clean.
Fuzzy, yes.
Yeah.
I didn't bring my bad old filter to show you today.
Right.
But and it gets beyond. You just, life is going on, school starts and all that. And, it's probably a good time to do it. Most times you'll check it before the winter heating season, but because of our extended summer this year, it's probably time to check it.
How often should a filter be changed? Now, my thermostat will put up a little sign. It'll say, change filter, when it's time to change the filter. Mine will go almost a year without changing. Yeah. Now, that seems like an awful long time, though, doesn't
Let's
it?
tell your listening audience that you have one of the 3-inch jobbers.
I've got a big, thick one, and it's like an accordion.
Yeah, and there's a lot of surface area there, so you can run it a long time and not have to worry about
That's different than if you just had a flat filter, correct?
Filter. And it's all site-specific. Depends on how much you got going on in your home, and where the returns are. If they're pulling in low air off the carpet, you can pull a lot of carpet fibers. If they're up on the wall, you're not going to pull as much, so the filter might stay cleaner that way. But you kind of also want to watch the air conditioner and make sure it's operating correctly. There's a lot of things. Even on my air conditioner, I looked at it the other day, and I had a whole bunch of fuzz on the outside of the fins, and it impairs the efficiency that way. If you've not had a professional come and look at the air conditioner in a while, and this perhaps is not the best time to do that. Maybe something next spring, but like contactors can get rusted. You can have all sorts of electronic problems that might not work as efficiently as you'd like it to. It can be a little low on Freon. It can be high on Freon, if you haven't had it checked in a while. I just talked to a lady.
Can you have too much Freon in it?
Yeah. And that puts pressure on the compressor and can do a lot of damage to it. So it can also, the sizing, hopefully you've got a properly sized air conditioner for the size of your house. Mm-hmm. Generally, they do what's called a manual J on your home before they size an air conditioner. Air conditioners come a long way in terms of a new unit. If you have an older unit, the newer ones are much more efficient now. They're larger basically than the older units were. And if I might just go back a little bit on this fin thing, on the outside unit is where a lot of also debris can end up, not just on the filter in your furnace. The filter in your furnace, by the way, is to keep that apparatus clean. That's a part of the air conditioner. It's a radiator.
The coil.
Yeah, it's like a radiator. So we're trying to keep that clean. But also in the outside unit, we have coils and we have fins. Now, in some of the newer units, that's pretty well covered up by a metal chassis or cover, so to speak, because over the years they realized that they get dinged. Those fins, the cooling fins get dinged and smooshed in and pushed in. And in fact, if you have an older unit like that and you know that you've been hit with the weed whip or the lawnmower and there's a lot of the fins have been smashed and they're shiny.
And that can cut down on the
airflow going through and the efficiency. Okay. And I picked this up at a heating and cooling supply. If you get a shot of that.
Oh, they look like little combs.
Yeah,
they look like little combs, and you would run these down the fins on the outside of the unit to help spread the fins apart. Again, if you want to see what he's talking about, you can watch this segment on kbia.org, click on Talk Shows and Radio Friends, and they look like little combs that you use to spread the fins apart on the outside air conditioning unit. Yeah. What I do about once a month is I take the garden hose and I just hose the unit down on the outside to make sure that it's free of any dust.
Yeah.
And then if anything is growing up around it, I will clip it off.
Well, and depending on the season, I've had some air conditioners where they've had cottonwood trees nearby, and they had that lovely cotton that flows through the air, and it pulled right into those fins. You may, if you got a bad situation like that, that you see that your fins are getting clogged up frequently, have a professional do it, because he can take the chassis off and blow it out from inside, it out, because you don't need blowing it in forever.
Right. The two most important things, making sure the fins are clean on the outside and separated, and that you change your filter on a regular basis.
That's right.
Now, if someone has to install a new unit, either an air conditioning or a heat pump or both, all of the units now are the higher efficiency than they were before.
Yeah.
And they're not using Freon anymore, are they?
No, these are called Puron. It's a safer gas. In fact, if you have leaks of Freon, you really want to take care of that. The people will say, well, we'll just shoot a little Freon in there and get you up to snuff and get you running for this summer. Well, the problem is you have a leak, and the leak should be discovered and it should be fixed, because leaving Freon out into the atmosphere is not good for the ozone layer. It's one of the worst gases to have up there. So that's why they shifted to Puron, because it's not as deleterious to the ozone layer, although the efficiency of it is not quite as high as the Freon was.
Okay, so is it going to cost you more to run a new air conditioner that does not have the Freon?
No, not at all. What happens is they overcompensate for that by having a larger outside unit, more surface area to dissipate heat, and a larger coil on the inside to deliver more cooling to the house.
So if you have to put in a new unit, they're going to have to come in and change the coils on the inside also.
To get the full efficiency, yeah. It's very difficult, if not impossible, to match the old coil to a brand new outside unit. You invariably want to get a new coil too. Plus, the warranties work out better when you get new equipment.
And does the City of Columbia offer any type of rebate or incentive for installing a new
They
unit?
certainly do. They want to go to the ColumbiaPowerPartners.com website and check that out. We have low-interest loans to replace old air conditioners, as well as add insulation, add a heat pump, and even do some windows with it. All the information's on that website, and we also have some rebates on there too for adding insulation and for air conditioning.
So go to ColumbiaMo.com.
ColumbiaPowerPartners.com.
ColumbiaPowerPartners.com.
Yeah.
And if you live outside the City of Columbia, you might check with your rural electric co-op. They probably have some special deals. And no matter what city you're in, maybe Jeff City or Moberly or Macon, wherever you're listening, check with your local utilities if you do have to replace it.
Correct.
Because you may find some deals. Thank you so much,
Okay,
Dave
Paul.
Morris, for coming by. Always a
Take
pleasure
care.
having you here. Tomorrow, League of Women Voters and the Boys and Girls Club. Our program directed by Travis McMillen, Reynolds Journalism Institute. Audio is Pat Akers from KBIA. Our floor director is Rachel Gangware, and our assistant producer and guest coordinator, Uncle James Mauser. If you have an idea of something you would like to hear or see, I'd love to hear from you. Drop me an email, pepperp@missouri.edu.